Hello and welcome today we're on the breathtaking island in Boracay. Now, this is not exactly what I had planned for the morning of the first day of exploring the new bits and pieces. We just checked in to the hotel the night before, so there's a hotel vlog already up and live, and then doing a little bit of evening exploring as well, which is on a different part of the island. But what is about to unfold all happens in real time. We get caught in a full on downpour. Now, luckily, it didn't last for a huge amount of time because if it came down as heavy as what it did for a little bit longer, I think some serious flooding would have happened like it did elsewhere around the island, but we were very, very lucky. So the plan was just to go off, explore, then grab some lunch, make a video about where we went for lunch, and then just come back and basically have an easy first day on the island. As we're walking down just to see what is about, we'll stop off in a couple of shops and just see some little bits and pieces like that. However, in the distance, keep your eyeballs peeled for just how windy the palm trees are starting to get, and also how vicious the waves are starting to get. And not just that, the colour of the sky. Just watch how quickly it starts to come in. Like I said, it all basically happens in real time. It's amazing how quickly it can catch you out, but it is a lesson to be learned. Make sure that on an island like this, you always have your phone in a waterproof pouch. That way, you don't have to worry whatsoever. My camera is waterproof. My phone, on the other hand, is not. But luckily, both of our phones were absolutely fine because we did manage to wrap it up within the beach towel and it was not too bad. But if we didn't have that with us, it could have been a different story. But we are now, 2 minutes into the video, and you can see the sky is already getting a little bit darker. But like I said, the point of what this upload was gonna be was just to explore the island and see some little different bits and pieces around this way, because the island itself is split into different zones. So you've got this zone, for example, where you can just sit down. There's a hotel, I think, at the end, and then you've got some of these little shops. There was the zone that we explored in the last upload at night, where there's loads of eateries and it's a little bit more lively. So that is both this zone and the other zone that we explored last night are both on the same side as the island. But as we came from our hotel last night, we turned left. Today, or this afternoon, we turned right, and we will be running back to the hotel at the end of this video in very, very big puddles, feeling sorry for myself because I am drenched and going see-through. But that is a different nightmare for a different day. So you can see as we're panning round, see how nice the sky looks. It is on its way, but not paying any attention to it, just because there's so many other locals about. Didn't think anything of it, especially when you see some people in the water. You think, nah, it's all going to be all right. It won't be a problem whatsoever. Now, on the other side of the island, that is where it's going to get explored in different uploads, and that's where the uploads will get much longer again, because we'll be walking from the hotel off to the different activities that you can do. Get into the water, you can have your photo shoot done. There's lots of different things you can do. You can go on different types of cruises. You've got a sunset cruise as well. All of that happens, and all of that was filmed. So I've got all of that to share with you. But I have been teasing this one for a little while with regards to just how bad the weather was on certain days and in certain places. So the day of this being filmed, they actually cancelled every single flight to the island for the whole day, because on the outside of the island the visibility was zero, and you'll understand with just the short, sharp burst of water that we have of just how violent it is just a few miles away. So we were very, very lucky where we were. Where we flew from also flooded, and it had a 3 days worth of heavy, heavy rain, and it ended up getting to about chest deep in places. So again, that had a knock-on effect to a lot of the different flights, and it gets very emotional very quickly, but that'll all unfold in different uploads. So what is about to happen is everybody's taking photos. We wanted to do the same thing. We managed to take 3. The first one is my ugly mug just here as I get past the camera. Then I get given the camera and take the picture of the back of Edmira's head as we're walking to the location to take a photo. And you can see it's already raining. So we stop and we start to walk away because it comes in very, very fast indeed. And you can now see, you can't see anything. You can see a few waves. There's nothing in the backdrop. That came in within 2 minutes. That is the orange towel that saved our phones, luckily, because Admira was clever enough to wrap the phones up in that towel very, very quickly. And I did have a little bag on as well, so it was lucky that we did have a little bit with us. But I will in the future get more than likely a mobile phone case. I say that, I won't, because I will forget, but those are the ones that go around your neck and they keep everything dry. But listen to this. Well, that came in out of nowhere. And we are back with it. So now we are just making our way to the hotel. And if you look at the ground, just how much water and everything like that is coming off the drains. Very, very impressive, the amount of water that comes down for such a short period of time. And just outside the hotel, it was flooded for another day or two, and then it did start to drain away, which was not a problem. But I have said in all of the videos, as long as you've got flip-flops on, it does not make a difference whatsoever, because you're always going to get caught out. So don't even bother putting a pair of trainers on when you're walking around the island, because you are going to end up getting drenched at some point, and it just makes life a lot easier. Now, it could have been a lot worse, because if you've been following the upload in order, which I am trying to do, how to get to this island, like I've already said, we were very lucky because we did just get out before this storm actually kicked in. And I think this is where it's coming from, actually. So it's quite hard to follow with regards to which way the wind and all that kind of stuff and the rain was coming. But the island that we were on originally was then underwater. And now we're obviously here, and we were very, very lucky because we nearly didn't take off because the flight was delayed. Every flight after hours was then cancelled, and then obviously, like I said, every flight on the day of this being filmed, which is the first day of us being here, also got cancelled, and it had a huge knock-on effect to everything. But seeing the island for the first ever time during the day was a very special experience, let alone seeing it when it is this wet. But as you can see, we are the only people walking about. So where everybody else hid, I don't know, because I thought a lot of these buildings were shut because it hadn't quite opened yet for lunch. So all we end up doing is going back to the hotel. We get changed, and then we come straight back out again. And by that time, it is then lunchtime. Everything is back open again. And amazingly, everything has dried off again. So it is very much a case of if you time it wrong, you are very, very unlucky. But at the same time, it's always good to experience and lessons learned. Just be careful of your phones. Like I said, ours were okay, but it will catch you out like this. So if you're not used to it, get yourself like a little waterproof pouch that you can just have your phone around your neck. They work. They're absolutely fine. Or the best thing you can do is get the thick waterproof bag. They're the ones that you take on the island hopper, where they actually float at the top of the water and they don't let any water in. That is something I will definitely be getting next time instead of the little bag that I am carrying currently, because that way, if it rains like this, you do not have to worry whatsoever about getting any of your belongings wet. But I didn't see them here, but I did see them on another island that we went to. Now you can see it is starting to clear up, because it is literally a very quick, I would imagine they would class that as just a heavy shower, let alone a storm and a downpour at the same time. But the amount of water that was on the floor as we walked back to the hotel to dry off was very impressive indeed. But they are getting ready for what looks like a very long stormy season, because you can see you've got the plexiglass just there to the left-hand side, and then you've got all of these windbreakers here to the right-hand side, which is perfect, because obviously you don't want to be having lunch and then a window smashes through, because it's going to wreck your pudding. So luckily, none of that happens. But you can see all the water coming out the drains already. just from that short period of time. But it's sand, it soaks it up, it drinks it up, and it goes away. Then the tide starts to go out, and then luckily you do have a little bit of a beach that you can walk on later on in the afternoon. Now, the wind did stay up for a good couple of days. That was the one thing that did not calm down, but we were very lucky with the rain, because this is the only time, if I remember rightly, it rained during the day. Then after that, it was just in the evening. So when you're in the hotel, you could just hear the rain smashing off the balcony. So every night it came down heavy, but certain parts of the days later on in the week, it was glorious sunshine, and we got some really nice videos to follow with regards to exploring the different bits and pieces on this island. And there's going to be a lot of videos uploaded into the Philippines playlist, so keep your eyes peeled for those when they get uploaded, because there's all the different activities, how-to guides, how to get around different islands. You've got waterfall walks, you've got loads of different hiking, all of that kind of thing. But all we're focusing on right now is getting back to the hotel. Now, yes, I am stupid because the camera is panned up too high, but there is a reason for that, because if you caught the last upload, in about 30 seconds or so is where the cables were sparking. And at this point in time, we didn't know how else to get back to the hotel. As it happened, it was the only time it sparked from that little box, and it did not matter whatsoever. And you can see the guy in the yellow just there. He's obviously a pro that works in one of these buildings, because he was actually raising all the drain covers up, and the huge amount of water that was acting like a river was just going straight into the drain rather than starting to pile up. But in about 45 seconds time, you will just see how much water is on the floor, and that is what we are walking through all the way up to here. Now, by the time we have showered, come back out again for lunch, most of it had gone. So it drains away very, very quickly indeed. So it's very, very impressive. That is my nose as I am trying to get the flip-flop back on, because I've just lost it in a puddle. So the camera, I didn't realize at the time, was too high, but I was too busy looking at that back box up top, because if you caught, like I said, the video before this one, that is where it got a little bit fruity trying to get to the island, and that is the only time we had any problems whatsoever. So guys, we got just over a minute and a bit left, so if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let me know if you are thinking of coming here anytime in the future, and obviously if you're watching this from the future and you have just been to here, what has changed? What is your favorite restaurant? Did you stay at this hotel? There's so many hotels in perfect locations on this island. You really are spoilt for choice with just how easy it is to navigate. And like I said, there'll be lots of those videos coming within the Philippines playlist as well. So there is a lot of information to come with how to get to the hotel, how to get back to the airport, and all of that kind of thing. And then there is a rather interesting video of a split decision that we had to make of going somewhere completely different, because we couldn't actually get to where we were trying to get to. But yes, that is a huge puddle on the ground with people walking through with the umbrellas. So yes, that is directly outside of the hotel, and it is quite deep. And like I said, it was only there for a day or two, and then it soon drains away, and then it starts to rain again every single night. But by the end of our stay, we could actually walk out the front door without walking into a puddle. So the weather did get better as time progressed, but at the end of the day, it is only a little bit of water. And this hotel, by the way, is outstanding. But yes, there is a fair bit of water now on the floor, which was not there when we left the actual hotel. But if you want to see this fantastic hotel, which is the Piccolo Hotel, there is already a full upload available on the channel with regards to the amazing swimming pools, the accommodation, and everything like that. So check that out, because that is already uploaded into the Philippines playlist. But guys, as always, if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll see you next one. Ta-da.